Apple home devices, up to $50 more. iPads, up $100 to $200. MacBooks, try an extra $100 to $300. Mac desktops, up to $1,300 more expensive. Even the Vision Pro is looking for an extra tip. And then there's the absolute last line of defense. The final flickering candle in the suffocating darkness of this economic nightmare. The Apple polishing cloth. I checked the store today, fully expecting to see this infamous square of premium microfiber demanding a second mortgage. I braced myself for the absolute worst, and then... oh, it is actually still $19. Huh. But you couldn't spare the Apple TV? Sup, Rotten? iPhone prices have also suspiciously remained unchanged for now, but probably not for long, as the next generation of highly anticipated Apple devices is expected to be more expensive than ever. Well, with this super bummer wave of unfortunate news, I see that some of you guys want my opinion on this whole thing, and I'm not going to hold back. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am currently finding it a little difficult to be passionate about tech, considering everything going on right now. Buying Apple products was always a big deal to me because growing up with not much and finally owning something of quality and value is and has always been a dream come true. But there's a reason why things like the Neo even exist in the first place, and companies like PlayStation are experiencing their lowest sales in 25 years. No one can afford tech anymore. And to add insult to injury, Apple has officially thrown in the towel and jacked up prices overnight, blaming an AI-driven demand for memory and storage that has sharply increased component costs. I recently got an M5 Pro MacBook Pro that I'm planning to make a video on, but it just seems sort of insensitive given the state of this industry at the moment. The truth is, I absolutely love this thing, but how can I confidently recommend it knowing it went up $300 3 days after it was delivered to my house? It's insane out here. When the company that already charges premium prices decides things are too expensive to absorb, you know we are officially trapped in a nightmare. But hitting subscribe could help ease the pain a little bit though. I'm still a small channel, so every little bit helps. Thank you. So how do we get into this mess? AI tech giants are aggressively building out data centers and buying up the global supply of RAM and storage chips at an unsustainable rate. Because memory manufacturers can only make way more money selling their high bandwidth components to these companies, with FOMO on AI, consumer tech have been completely shoved to the back of the line. And ever since then, memory prices have been surging uncontrollably. Apple explicitly stated they can no longer shield customers from these soaring component costs. And because Apple is a huge force in the supply chain, its price hike sets a terrifying new baseline. If Apple can't bully suppliers into keeping costs down, every other laptop and phone manufacturer on earth now has a free pass to raise their prices too. It is a miserable domino effect. And at the end of the day, we are the ones taking the financial hit. The fact that the tried and true method of buying tech you can't afford, like waiting for tech to get cheaper, has been patched is crazy. Like, what do you mean my consoles are worth way more than they were when I first bought them? And the SSD I got for the video I made last year is not worth $1,000. How can you convince me that we are not living in the bad ending? Now, before we continue, and to help pay off the debt I am now in, here's a word from the sponsor of this portion of the video. In a perfect world, our tech should be able to cover everything we do on a daily basis. Having to pick up a laptop and have it cover most of your needs is the ideal way to go. But in 2026, our reality is a bit messier. We are constantly trying to squeeze massive workflows and multitasking onto a single cramped laptop screen when we are at or away from our desks. If you want to restore that seamless efficiency without being trapped into a tiny digital window, check out today's sponsor, Interhill, with their T16KB 16-inch portable monitor. This thing is a mobile workstation game changer. It gives you a gorgeous 2.5K resolution screen with a buttery smooth 120Hz refresh rate. Whether you're gaming on the go, managing a busy timeline, or just needing extra screen real estate while working from a coffee shop, it connects instantly via a single USB-C cable for both power and display. The color accuracy is stunning, the response time is crisp, and it's undoubtedly the the perfect companion when you want more screen real estate, whether you're out or at your desk. Stop crowding your workflow into a single display. Click the link in the description below to grab your T16KB portable monitor today and expand your horizons. And shout out to Intel for sponsoring this video. Now, this crisis applies to all consumer tech, including the gaming market. Look at Valve. The Steam Deck was supposed to be the champion of affordable, high-performance PC gaming. Valve originally sold those handhelds on thin margins to get people into the Steam and Linux ecosystem, but the reality of component inflation finally broke them. Valve recently raised prices across the board, with the 1TB model skyrocketing to nearly $1,000. And it gets worse for dedicated living room hardware too. Valve's newly announced Steam Machine was rumored to target a palatable $750 price point. Instead, because of its exact chip crisis, it is launching at well over $1,000. The era of cheap consumer silicon is dead and buried. Which brings us to the most baffling upside-down reality of this whole mess. Somehow, through absolute cosmic irony, the PlayStation 5 Pro has become a good deal. When Sony first announced the PS5 Pro's price tag, the internet collectively lost its mind, and rightfully so. It felt ridiculously steep for a console. But cut to right now. If you try to build a custom gaming PC or buy a pre-built rig that matches the graphics power, AI upscaling, and solid state storage of the Pro, you are looking at an absolute financial disaster. The graphics card and memory alone will wipe you out of your entire budget before you can buy a motherboard or a case. Because Sony locked in its manufacturing costs and set the PS5 Pro's MSRP just before the absolute worst of this memory chip crisis hit, its price has accidentally become a safe haven. It is a depressing reality that a premium, mid-generation console has become the budget-friendly alternative to PC gaming. But that is exactly where we are right now. Analysts are already predicting that this memory shortage and chipflation will drag out into 2027 and possibly 2028. Look, the single best protest against these predatory price hikes is just to stop buying or buying new. Trust that the hardware you are holding right now is more than enough to hold you over until this entire corporate fever dream blows over. The chip shortage will eventually correct itself, but until it does, your current phone, laptop, SSD, and console are perfectly capable of getting the job done, even if it means a little readjusting on your part. If you absolutely must buy something to survive, make the refurbished and used markets your first and only stop. Buying certified refurbished from reputable platforms gives perfectly good silicon a second life. And just to be clear, just because I can occasionally get cool products sent to me by various companies doesn't mean I'm any further removed from the average consumer. I'm also broke as hell. But despite this difficult time for all of us, I hope you guys will stick with me while I aim to make the best entertaining content I can make to help get our minds off the real world, even if it's just for a little bit. And I'm not just doing that for you, but for me too. So, are you completely priced out of upgrading this year, or are you gonna rip the band-aid anyway? Let me know in the comments. And support this one-man team on my Patreon for cool perks, along with Vasco, Francisco Beck, and Miss Game. Thank you all for the support, as it keeps me dropping videos consistently, and thank you, viewer, for watching. If you want to see more of me, you know what to do. In the meantime, guard your current hardware with your life. People aren't really gonna admit this, but maybe Google was enough. Convince me what was so wrong about just typing what you wanted to know and searching for the answers. I'll wait.